Alright everyone, this is Zero Budget Geek, and welcome back to my review of Eldritch Moon, the expansion set for Magic Duels. I'm taking a look at all the different cards and just giving you my first impressions of them and what I think. So in prior episodes we've looked at all the cards of each individual color. We had a separate episode for each color. In this last episode we're going to take a look at the gold cards, the colorless cards, and some of the lands and any of the other miscellaneous stuff. So as always, if you agree or disagree with some of my thoughts, please put it down in the comments below. I want to hear what you think. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. So our very first gold card here is Tamio, the Field Researcher. It costs 1 blue, 1 white, 1 green, and 1 colorless. It is a planeswalker. It starts with 4 loyalty, and its +1 loyalty is choose up to 2 target creatures. Until your next turn, whenever either of those creatures deals combat damage, you draw a card. So you can do that on your creatures or your opponent's creatures or whatever, and make sure you get to draw a card. So it's okay, not bad. And then its -2 ability is tap up to 2 target non-land permanents. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. That's a pretty nice ability for only a -2, so I really like that. Actually, more often than not, I probably would play this just for that, and then build back up with this. And then his ultimate is, or her ultimate is, I don't even know, is that a male or female? I don't know. Alright, -7, draw 3 cards, period. So that's good. And then you get an emblem with, you may cast non-land cards from your hand without paying their mana costs. You may cast non-land cards from your hand. Oh, wow. Seriously? You just throw out whatever cards you want. Okay. Wow. Wow, that is really, really powerful. You may cast non-land cards from your hand without paying their cost. So, yeah. Blam. Just throw out whatever you want. Awesome. Holy crap. That's pretty cool. You're going to see people going for that ultimate all the time. That's cool. Alright. And the fact, it's a +1. So, so within 3 turns of you having it out, 3 turns, yeah. Oh, very cool ability. Okay, next we have the Spell Queller. 1 blue, 1 white, and 1 colorless. A rare 2/3 spirit. It has flash and flying. When Spell Queller enters the battlefield, exile target spell with converted mana cost 4 or less, so it's a counter spell. And then when Spell Queller leaves the battlefield, the exile card's owner may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Oh, so it gets, they get it back. I would have liked it to be just, you know, I would have liked if it just gave him a card back, but it's gonna give him that specific card back. Of course, the time that the card comes back, you know, the timing of it may be all off and screw them up, but not bad. I mean, I guess this is much better in a spirit deck, but I could see this being used in stuff outside of it. A 2/3 flash flyer is not bad, and the fact that it basically counters the spell is pretty good. So pretty cool. Alright, Campaign of Vengeance. 1 black, 1 white, and 3 colorless. It's an uncommon enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks, defending player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So that's really nice. It's a very expensive casting cost, but a very simple ability. Whenever you attack, so it doesn't matter if they get blocked or what, they're gonna lose a life and you gain a life. So pretty cool. I think the cost might be too high, but then in a deck with a lot of creatures, later in the game you're gonna want something to do when you have a lot of mana, and then I mean that could just be, you play this and one big swing you kill your opponent. So this could be a game ender. So I like that card, Campaign of Vengeance. Alright, we have Ride Down. 1 white, 1 red, and it's a instant, and it's an uncommon instant. Destroy target blocking creature. Creatures that were blocked by that creature this combat gain trample until end of turn. Okay, so that's pretty cool. You kill the blocker and you will still basically get your damage through. So that's kind of nice. The The fact that it's blocking though is just I mean, I guess it's great. This would probably be really good for a Boros, you know, aggressive deck, aggro deck, for its low cost. So I can see this. Yeah, this is a good card. I mean, it's definitely for a aggro deck where you're constantly attacking and you don't want blockers slowing down your tempo. So in that deck, really good. Alright, Heron's Grace Champion, 1 white, 1 green, 2 colorless, an uncommon, or a rare rather, Human Knight. It's a 3/3 with flash, which is nice, and it has lifelink. When Heron's Grace Champion enters the battlefield, other humans you control gain +1/+1 and gain lifelink until end of turn. So the fact that it's flash is really nice. Throw it in, so it's a big combat trick by itself, and it's a 3/3 with lifelink, which isn't too terrible. So and then you can flash him in as a blocker. So a lot of good things you can do with this deck, with this card rather, but it's probably specific for a humans deck, so you probably won't see it outside of that. Alright, we have Gisa and Geralf. Gisa and Geralf. Okay, 1 black, 1 blue, 2 colorless, a legendary human wizard, and it's a mythic, so you can only have 1 in your deck, and it's a 4/4 for 4 mana. Not bad at all. When Gisa and Geralf enters the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard. So this will help with Delirium and some kind of recursion decks. And then during each of your turns, you may cast a zombie creature card from your graveyard. Now it says cast, so you don't cast them for free, because it would say mana cost. So you still have to pay the mana to play them. But man, this will give you, I mean, you know, by the time you cast this, you'll probably have some zombies in your graveyard, and then this will hopefully get you some more. So pretty neat. I like this. I like this card a lot. It's probably very specific for zombie decks, though I guess you could do a zombie delirium deck. So really neat card. I definitely want to try that one out for myself. Alright, we have Mercurial Geists. 1 red, 1 blue, 2 colorless, a creature spirit, uncommon. It's a 1/3 and it has flying. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Mercurial Geist gets +3/+0 until end of turn. So it's has its own form of prowess, so it can turn into a 4/3. And actually, if you cast more instants, so man, this will probably really go into those prowess decks. And man, with 1 or 2 spells, this could get really nasty. So this is a potentially powerful creature in the right deck. I just wouldn't throw it in any old deck. Alright, Bloodhall Priest. 1 red, 1 black, 2 colorless, a vampire cleric. It's a 4/4 for 4 mana. I don't mind that at all. It is a rare though. Whenever Bloodhall Priest enters the battlefield or he attacks, if you have no cards in hand, Bloodhall Priest deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Well, you usually don't. Well, you know what? He's a vampire, so you'll probably have this in a madness deck, and he has madness himself. So in a madness deck, you'll probably be able to have no cards in hand. So his ability, you know, will be able to. You'll be able to do it, and because it targets a creature or player, that makes it even more useful. So I like this guy. Probably specific for a Vampire Madness deck, but you know, it's not terrible. So pretty cool. Like him. All right, Mournwillow. Oh my God, I love this picture here. This is just creepy and cool. 1 green, 1 black, and 1 colorless for a plant skeleton. Now that's just cool. It's an uncommon. It's a 3/2 with haste for 3 mana. I don't mind that at all. Delirium. When Mournwillow enters the battlefield, if you have 4 more card types, among cards, creatures with power 2 or less can't block this turn. So it's only for 1 turn. Oh, but you know what? It's not that they can't block him. They just can't block, period. So this guy could come in, can haste in for a really big swing, keeping small guys from chump blocking. But outside of that, I still like him. For 3 mana for 3/2 with haste is pretty fun. I wish it has zombie as its type. That'd make it even more useful, because that plant skeleton, there's not much that uses that. But it's kind of a cute card. I don't know you'll see it much, but maybe there'll be a special deck for that. Alright, we have Ulrich of the Kralin Horde. 1 green, 1 red, and 3 colorless, a human werewolf. He's legendary mythic. He's a 4/4, and whenever this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Ulrich of the Krellin Horde, target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. At the beginning of Elchi, if no spells were cast last turn, transform Ulrich of the Krellin Horde. So you play him as a 4/4 and something else gets 4/4 until end of turn. You could even make it him, but you probably wouldn't want to do that. So that alone is really nice. 5 mana for 4/4 with an ability is not too terrible, and then he transforms into something that's probably really big. Ulrich, Uncontested Alpha. Whenever this creature transforms into Uncontested Alpha, you may have it fight target non-werewolf creature you don't control. So when he transforms, he kills something, pretty much, usually. At the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells last turn, transform him back. So he has the typical werewolf transforming mechanic, but each time he transforms, you're gonna get something really good out of it. So really good card here. I could see this even in a non-werewolf deck, but most likely you'd want him in a werewolf deck. So yeah, he's just better in that, but I could see people playing this even outside of that. So very cool card. I really like it. Alright, we have the Abundant Maw. Costs 8 colorless. It's an Eldrazi Leech. It's a 6/4 for 8 mana, which is bad, but you can pay so emerge, so pay a black and 6. You may cast a spell by sacrificing a creature and paying the emerge cost reduced by that creature's converted mana cost. When you cast Abundant Maw, target opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. So so the merge is 1 less than his regular cost plus a color, but if you sacrifice something, you reduce this cost. So could be interesting. I can see if you get a 3 cost guy, this could be you know, only cost 4, and that make it really useful. So you get a 6/4 body and you get a 3-point life drain. So not too terrible, but not super great also. Alright, moving on. We have the Cultist Staff. It's 2 colors. It's an artifact. Equipment, and equipped creature gets +2/+2, and you equip it for 3. So very simple. It's not bad. 2 mana to do that. Its equip is kind of pricey, but you know, giving something +2/+2 that's kind of hard to get rid of is not terrible at all. So may see some play of that. Alright, we have the Decimator of the Provinces. Costs 10 colorless. It's an Eldrazi board. It's a 7/7 and a merge of 3 green and 6. That's a lot. 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright. Whenever you cast Decimator of the Provinces, creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn, and he has trample and haste. So you gotta jump through some hoops to get this guy into play, but once you get him in, you're gonna have a 7/7 hasty trampler, and all your other guys will get +2/+2. And in fact, he will get +2/+2 himself, won't he? So he'll be a 9/9 when you cast it. No, so I think it's when you cast him. I'm not sure if it affects him. I think it does, because when you cast him, that effect goes into play, and then he'll come into play. Anyway, nice card. Very probably difficult to cast, but man, this guy can probably you play him and win the game pretty much. Alright, Distended Mindbender. 8 colorless. It's an Eldrazi insect. It's a 5/5 and an emerge of 2 black and 5 colorless. When you cast Distended Mindbender, target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose from a non-land card with converted mana cost 3 or less, and a card with converted mana cost 4 or greater. That player discards those cards. So you could potentially get 2 cards discarded from your opponent, plus getting a 5/5 body, but you'll probably have to sacrifice something. And of course, if the sacrifice thing has an effect when it dies, you know, bonus. So pretty cool. I do like this creature. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just really good. By the time you cast this, your opponent may only have like 2 or 3 cards in hand, so this could really mess them up. So I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, we have the Drownyard Behemoth. 9 colorless Eldrazi Crab. You can cast it as an instant, so it has flash, and it has a merge of 7, so 7 and 1 blue. Drawing Your Behemoth has hexproof as long as it entered the battlefield this turn, and it's a 5/7. So pretty nice body. You can play it as a flash, and you can reduce the cost with Emerge. So pretty cool. Has hexproof for 1 turn, so it's okay. You'll probably get 1 swing out of it before your opponent kills it, but it's just okay. I'm not super excited about it. Alright, we have the Elder Deep Fiend. 8 colorless. It's an Eldrazi octopus. It's a 5/6 with flash, and you can pay the emerge cost, and when you cast Elder Deep Fiend, tap up to 4 target permanents. So this I like. That ability is really good. You can tap a bunch of things down as a flash. So do this on the end step, pay the emerge cost, or however, tap a bunch of things down, and then you'll have him in play, so you'll at least be able to attack with him and probably some other creatures and probably win the game. So this could be a game ender right here. So pretty nice. I like this guy. Let me back up for a second. And then 8 cost is kind of high, like if you needed to hard cast it, but it's not really impossible. So, you know, pretty cool. I do like that card. All right, It of the Horrid Swarm. 8 colorless. You can reduce that, or you can do a merge of 1 green and 6 colorless. When you cast It of the Horrid Swarm, put 2 1/1 green insect creature tokens onto the battlefield, and it's a 4/4. And it's just a comic. Yeah, this is not that great. You're getting a 4/4 and 2 little creatures. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you can get the cost down by a lot, I guess it'll be good, but not too crazy about that one. Getting just 2 1/1s is not, I don't know, doesn't excite me all that much. Alright, we have the Lashweed Lurker. 8 colors, Eldrazi Horror. It's a 5/4, and you can reduce its cost. When you cast Lashweed Lurker, you may put target non-land permanent on top of its owner's library. This is just okay. If it had flash, that would be really awesome, but it doesn't, so it's just okay. But it could be another one of those sort of game ender cards. Flip something out of play and let something else big attack. Plus, on a later turn he'll be coming in. So he's just okay. I'm not too crazy about him. We have the Lupine Prototype. 2 colors. It's a wolf construct. It's a 5/5 for 2. Lupine Prototype can't attack or block unless a player has no cards in hand. Well, a werewolf deck, I mean, I guess you can get to no cards in hand, but well, it's an interesting card, but unless a player has no cards in hand. So if your opponent, so either one of you needs to be at 0 cards, but that's probably not going to happen late game. So I don't know. I'd have to see. There's probably some ways to use this. I'm not seeing it right now, but could be pretty interesting. All right, we have the Mockery of Nature. 9 colors. It's an Eldrazi beast. It has an emerge cost, and when you cast Mockery of Nature, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment, and you get a 5/6 body out of it. So I do like this one. The ability to destroy target artifact enchantment, especially enchantment, is very, very good, and you get a 6/5 creature out of it. It is costly, but of course, sacrifice something to get, reduce that cost, and you're good to go. All right, so I like it. All right, we have the Vexing Scuttler. 8 colors. It's an Eldrazi crab. Another one of those. It's a 4/5, so it's not terribly huge, but you can. It does have an emerge cost, and when you cast Vexing Scuttler, you may return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. This could be really good in the I mean, getting an instant sorcery back is pretty nice. I mean, I guess you'd have to build a deck around it, but I don't know how earth-shattering that is. It's not that huge of a creature, so it's just okay, but I don't know. It seems kind of gimmicky. I mean, you can. There's plenty of ways to get target instant sorcery cards from your graveyard rather than jumping through these hoops. Maybe if it was a bigger creature, I'd get more excited. All right, we have the Wretched Griff. 7 colors, an Eldrazi Hippogriff. It has an emerge cost, and when you cast Wretched Griff, draw a card, and it's flying. So 3/4 with flying. You do have to. You're probably gonna want to sacrifice something to reduce this cost. But you do draw a card, and you have a 3/4 flyer. Kind of expensive. I don't know. Nah, I don't think it's all that great. It's just okay. Alright, and then we have a legendary land here, a Gyre Reach Sanitarium. You can tap it to add colorless, or you can pay 2 and tap it. Each player draws a card, then discards a card. All are welcome. So pretty neat. I could see this going into those mill decks who probably make use of this. This is, you know, pretty interesting. So yeah, in certain decks this could be really good. In some, I wouldn't throw this in any deck, but some decks where you don't care about what the card your opponent draws could be really good. And then we have the Hanweir Battlements, a rare land. Add a color to your mana pool, pay a red, target creature gains haste until end of turn. That's not bad at all for 1 mana. And then for 2 red, 3 colors, you can tap it if you both own and control Hanweir Battlements and a creature named Hanweir Garrison. Exile them, then meld them into Hanweir the Breathing Township. So we saw that before. We saw that creature, the Hanweir Garrison, which was a great creature by itself. If you have this plus that creature, you can meld them into the Hanweir the Breathing Township. So it's a whole creature. It's a whole town that turns into a creature. It's a legendary ooze. It's a 7/4 as trample and haste. Whenever it attacks, put 2/3/2 colors of drowsy horror creature into battlefield, tapped and attacking. So very cool card. You can do some great stuff with this. Let's go back to the other side. The Hanweir Garrison is actually pretty nice by itself, so I don't know if you necessarily want to transform it into this. Its 4 body is okay, but you know, it is killable, so I wish it had some kind of protection, which it doesn't. So you know, you'll most likely attack with this, but then it'll die to being blocked. So it does have trample, which is nice. So I don't know, pretty interesting. I'd like to see a deck built around these molding cards. Alright, so that's it. We've gone through all the Eldritch Moon cards, and I've given you my thoughts on them. So now it's your turn to go down into the comment section and let me know what you think. So guys, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you soon.